two technologies I like in modern vehicles: backup camera and tire pressure monitor systems. I got that for my van today. Maybe a backup camera someday. I'm actually getting used to backing up my van, so I'm going to go with this for now. These come in handy. I got a flat on one of my road trips in my A-Barth, and it warned me fairly early, so I knew to fix the tire up, air it up. So got one for my van. Let's try this out right now. Here's the screen plugged into my van. It actually looks good. So it actually doesn't look ugly being here. So let me go ahead and set this up. It says bar and Celsius. We want Fahrenheit and PSI. Okay, it's set up at PSI and Fahrenheit. Let's go ahead and plug in the pressure sensors and see how accurate this is right now. I'll start one at a time. Let's start off with the front tires. So let's go left. Let's go left front first. 65 PSI for the left front tire. Let's see if this is accurate. Check it out. 65 PSI. It looks like it's accurate. I'm actually surprised because this system is only $30. Let's go ahead and put on the rest of them. Front right, 63 PSI. 63 PSI. Now let's go with the back tires. 77 PSI for the right back tire. This is my Michelin digital tire gauge. I actually closed my hood on it and it still works, so shout out to Michelin tire gauges. Still works. Okay, so go ahead and add this step. This is the lock nut right here. So you put this lock nut on first, and then you put the pressure sensor on next. And then tighten it. And then you have this tool right here, and then you tighten the nut from the back. And then that makes it it's anti-theft. So the bad thing is every time you need to put air in your tire, you need to take that out. So you just grab the tool and just tighten it a little bit, and then you can't take this out. 77. It's looking good. One more. Okay, last tire. 76.5 PSI. Okay, I'm going to do a quick tutorial here. This is one of those vehicles that even if there's no key in the ignition, my power ports still work. So the off button, there's 3 buttons. So the first button is the off button. So if I just hold it down here, I'll turn it off. Got to remember to do that. I don't think this uses up too much power, honestly. So let's turn it on again. And that's pretty cool. Okay, so these big letters or numbers, that's the tire pressures, 65, 63, 76, 77. And on this van, the recommended pressure is 60 front, 80 back. It's a weird tire pressure. I'm glad it goes that high, actually. Most cars are like 30 to 40 PSI. I put a little more in the front, a little less in the back. And then that's the temperatures. This is pretty cool. This side is actually in direct sunlight, so the tires are actually a little hotter than the tires on this side, because this way is in the shade. To set up your sensors, you just click the middle button. Okay, so that's PSI. Tap the middle button again, and then see how it's blinking. You could pick PSI or bar. America, we use PSI. The rest of the world uses bar. And then Fahrenheit or Celsius. And then we got pressure high. Okay, so if I have over 85 PSI, I'll get an alarm. And then this one, I wish I could set it higher. See, the PSI low alarm is 29. Since the recommended pressure up front is 60, by the time I get to 29, I'll have half of my air pressure already gone. I would have liked to set this at like 45, but that's okay. I could always monitor my pressures in real time. And then 158, if the tires get hotter than 158, I'll get an alarm. And I have no idea what any of this means, so just ignore that. The important thing is we got pressures. So like I said, I wish the pressure would alarm at 40, 45 PSI, but I can't set it. The lowest is 29, but that's okay. See, as I'm driving here, I could always see my tire pressures now. So that's cool. So this thing works. $30. And now I could look at my tire pressures. I'm always paranoid of getting a flat tire because, see, this has 77 PSI in it, and see, it looks like it's already flat. See how it's kind of like sticking out, but it's fine. So now I have peace of mind. Going for a test drive right now. Topping off on fuel, 106,097 miles, 121 miles on this current tank of fuel. Fuel is cheap for California standards, so gotta top this off. I like how this looks. It looks like it almost belongs there. It's not ugly. Cosmetics is important to me. That's a good sound. Go ahead and turn it on. I just got to remember to turn this on and off every time, especially the turn off part. Alright, all set here. $12.43 gallons added. I believe the fuel is $2.12 a gallon. According to the Ultra Gauge, 10.5 miles per gallon. Actual fuel economy, 10.36, so that's pretty close to accurate. Not my best tank of fuel here. Not my worst. My worst was, I think, 8.4 mpg. This van's about a 10 mpg vehicle if you do a lot of stop and go driving, which this tank was. Let's go ahead and zero everything out. Here's the sensor information center after about 8 miles of freeway driving. Pressures went up a little. Pressures always go up a little when you drive. The reason I set my back tires to about 75 PSI, a little less than the 80 recommended, is that it'll go up when I drive, and then when I'm up in the mountains, the tire pressure will be even higher, so keep it at about 75, and then the fronts. 60 is the recommended pressure. I just put a little extra. So there you go. Let's go ahead and get this on the freeway right now. Van life for the win. Hey, nice car. I rarely see A-Barths around. Check it out. It's my van's brother. I'm set at 65 miles per hour cruise control, and there's the pressure sensor. It's just in the right spot. The gear lever isn't blocking it, so I could see all 4 pressures from here. So there it is. So looks like it's working great. Like I said, I got this mainly for my road trips, because if I end up getting a flat, this will give me the heads up that something's wrong, and I could pull over before the tire gets completely flat if it happens to go that way. I always have a tire plug kit with me, so there you go. Really happy with this purchase for $30.